on question 4, we got these parking spaces, and I want to know what's the probability to the nearest percent. So I want to write my answer as a percent that I'm south of West Avenue. Well, first of all, let's look at our sample space. How many parking spaces do we have? Well, we have 2, 7, and 3. So that's 12. So my sample space is 12. What is south of West Avenue? Well, notice 7 plus 3, 10 of them are south of West Avenue. So 10 out of 12 would be your probability, but I want it as a percent. Probably could do this in your head. That's 83%, isn't it? So if I take 10 divided by 12, we get 0.83, so I'm going to say 83%. And in question number 5, we have to look at some assumptions here. So I've got this dartboard. It's got a diameter of 17.75 inches. The bullseye has a diameter of 1.25 inches. And the circle that's formed with the inner ring and the bullseye has a diameter of 1.6 inches. I want to find the probability the dart lands anywhere in the section labeled 18 inches. Now, to me, 18 inches would be this part right here, wouldn't it? I'm not going to include the bullseye. So first off, let's do the sample space. My sample space is going to be the whole circle. And we're told the dartboard has a diameter of 17.75 inches. So if I take 17.75 and I divide that by 2, that'll be my radius, won't it? So if we take 17.75 and we divide that by 2, my radius is 8.875. So my sample space is going to be pi times 8.875 squared. Now, I want to find that section of the circle. Notice it's not a triangle because I'm not including the bullseye. So what I'm going to do here is I want to find the area of the part that's not the bullseye. So I'm going to take 8.875 squared pi, and I'm going to subtract off the bullseye diameter, well, or the center ring. And actually, I'm going to do the bullseye diameter because when I look at this, let me look at my assumption here. No, I'm not going to include the center because that's not in the 18 part, is it? So I'm going to subtract off that little circle on the inside. So my circle on the inside has a diameter of 1.6, so that's 0.8. And that'll be squared times pi. So that's going to be the section that's not the bullseye. So let's do that first off. And I'm going to take, what did we say? Sorry, for 8.875 squared pi minus 0.8 squared times pi. That will be the area of that ring that has 18 in it. So in other words, it's about 245. I'm going to keep 245 in my calculator, but I'm just going to write 245 down here for now. Okay, now, there are 20 sections, aren't they? So my favorable outcome, the part with 18, is going to be 1/20 of 245. So I'm going to divide that by 20 then. So I'll take this answer and I'll divide it by 20. Whoops. Press enter. Okay, then we'll divide that by 20. Answer divided by 20. So that's the area of the 18 part. So the area of the 18 part is about 12.27. So to find the probability that we're in the 18, that'll be 12.27 about. And I'm going to divide that by 8.875 squared times pi. So let's go ahead and do that. So then I'm going to take this answer and I'm going to divide it by 8.875 squared times pi. And we get about 5%, don't we? 0.0495.
May I have your attention, please? Kyler Niles, please come to the principal's office. Kyler Niles to the principal's office.
So we're going to say that probability is about 0.05. Now let's do the second part. What's the probability that the dart lands in the inner ring but not the bullseye? So I'm still going to use my same sample space for the whole thing, but now I want to find the center ring but not the bullseye. Well, we already said from before that my center ring has a radius of 0.8, so it's 0.8 squared pi. I'm going to subtract off the bullseye, which is 1.25. So if I take, to find the radius, I take 1.25 and I'll divide that by 2. So 1.25 divided by 2, I do believe that's 0.75, but I'm going to double check that here. Oh, 0.625, thank you. Should have not trusted myself. So 0.625 squared pi. So let's actually do that here then. Let's find this answer. So we're going to say 0.8 squared pi minus 0.625 squared pi, and I get about 0.78, don't I? So that area is about 0.78. I'm going to divide that by the whole circle, which is 8.875 squared, times pi. So I'm going to take 0.78. I'm going to divide that 8.875 squared pi. And notice I get a pretty low probability, 0.003, 0.3%. There's your probability.